Community connections, where I want to go next. When the county was in fiscal, FISCAL, crisis, and needed the levy had expired. There was only a quarter of a percent. I think it was even a property tax that expired, and there was nothing because of the troubles of 2009 to 2011 in county government, focused on the Treasury office. And in the run-up to getting the sales tax, we passed the 1/2 cent sales tax in November of 2011, if memory serves me correctly. And the commissioners and everybody else was all over Stark County preaching the message. And of course, one of the questions I ask is, well, how about after the levy passes? Are you still going to be going out? And the answer is yes. And they did. But they got a very sparse attendance. And of course, you just go to a commissioners meeting today, and they're not very well attended. I'm sure you, Candidate Smith, in Township, except for real hot issues, weekend and weekend, don't get it. Is there anything that you can offer the voters of Stark County that you can be a difference maker of connecting Stark County government with everyday citizens? Candidate Mungo.
Boy, that's the $1,000,000 question. How do we get the American citizen in general, all across this country, more connected and involved in their government? That's a real challenge. And that's a challenge that I have in the office too. How do I get this patient to connect and care about this problem, whether it's their arthritis, their obesity or diabetes or smoking or drinking or whatever the issue may be? It really doesn't matter what the issue is. It's how do you get somebody to care, and that's extremely difficult. And that gets into how do you change the world, and I think that's one person at a time.
Would you be into that as commissioner?
Well, that's why I'm here. I think that's why he's here too. Or the people that do this are people that are obviously people that care about getting everybody else connected. It's education, it's discussions, it's having our commissioners went out to the community, went to various townships and made presentations. It's trying to reach out, be transparent, engage the public. Articles, education, it's anything and everything you can do to get people educated and aware of whatever the issue may be.
Candidate Smith.
Okay, where was the question? Because it gets so long,
community,
I don't want to
community connection, going out.
Okay,
right, that's the question.
We have done many things down at the township. We have put up a website. We have put out mailings. We in fact, now with the school, we're going to have a page in theirs when they go out. Now, it doesn't cover all of Canton Township because we have some Canton City schools up around Myers Lake. But at least with Canton Local, we're going to cover 80% of our area. They've given us a page. We're going to reciprocate in our newsletter and give them a page back. So we can try to get out as much as we can. We also do what we call hot topics. At the end of our meeting, the 3 or 4 topics that aren't boilerplate type stuff, things that we, possibly we purchased something for the squads or doing something up at our community center. We'll point those things out and send out an email. And then we have a list of emails that we can blast that out. And we only do that every other week at the end of our meeting. So we are attempting to reach out. But if you have something that they're not in favor of, then they fill the hall. And 2 weeks ago we had that, okay? So the one gentleman said, you didn't tell us when the meeting was. I said, well, just help me out. How are we supposed to? He said, call me. And I apologize because we have 13,400 residents and I just didn't get around to all of them. So,
We got to the first 10,000.
And I think I got a chuckle out of pretty much the rest of the room, but it was like, it is a very difficult thing. And I guess when I first got in office, we filled the hall. but we always had contentious people at the front table. And so as we cleaned that up and made it a business-like meeting and took care of business, we started losing people coming to the meetings. To the point was, and at first, if you've ever sat in front of people that are hanging on your every word, you really, it's a different experience. And so, and it's fearful to some degree. I mean, you've got 20, 30 people there and they're hanging on your every word. And, but then what's more fearful, I found out, is when no one shows up. And I mean no one. And you're at a meeting and there's no one there. And it's like, wow, give me the 20 people back. Because at least you're getting the message out to someone. But it is very difficult. People are busy. People are so tied up that it seems like the only time that really hits their hut buttons and it gets them there is if something, you're either asking for money or there's something that they have vehemently disagreed with. And you'll know about it quickly. So in that way, I guess the system works, but you would like to reach out more, but how many different levels do they have to keep track of? I mean, can they keep track of the township and the county and the state and the federal and their job and the kids going to soccer and everything else going on? And it's tough. And I can kind of understand their point of view, although you would like to be able to have that magic that you could put out there and they would absorb it. But we're trying. We'll continue to try. But, it's a tough issue to tackle. These departments up,